Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Spark of Genius Flesh and Blood production. My name is Eric, joined here with my co-creator, co-caster, co-commentator, co-compatriot, Rob. We have a POV commentary video. So for Uprising, I've been doing a fair amount of draft at my locals, at different stores, trying to like the format that I enjoy the most. I think the content is kind of scarce for drafting content, especially content that actually like reviews the picks, not just like, oh, pack one, pick one, what do you want, blah blah blah, but actually goes through the whole draft. The gameplay is also important, a little bit less important in my view. I think there's tons of gameplay out there, so another one of those POVs. I'm not going to spoil it. What hero I end up going because it's a bit. So this is myself drafting at one of my locals, and I'm not going to spoil it. But if you do like this kind of content, which I know some of you do because we keep doing it, and you keep watching, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. We do have one short announcement. I guess we will be out at the Battle Hard in Toronto. We will be casting that as well. We will be at the Road to Nationals on Saturday. Either we're both going to be judging, or one of us is going to be judging. Not really particularly sure yet. Some kind of combination. Just look for the Spark of Genius mats, and you'll see people who are affiliated with us. I think we'll have a couple people on the Spark mats. Might be us, our our good buddies, good pals, and look out for that. But yeah, feel free to come out to that. If you're at Anime North, feel free to check out our I think 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. is the Spark of Genius panel. The
Yeah,
Fab with Eric and Rob, I think it's what it's called, right?
yeah, that's with not really. I guess we didn't really know what to call it, but
Yeah,
it's
I don't
descriptive
know.
enough. It's
Yeah,
it
it's got
puts
a
our
little bit
names
of
in there.
yeah, it's got a little bit of a like intro to like the Fab content creator relationship with LSS, kind of our journey with LSS and Fab in general. Very
hmm
very short, and then most of it should be Fab Jeopardy, where there's plenty
Yes,
of prizes.
we've
Let me say,
prepared
there's a lot.
a bunch of questions, 25 questions that are going to be asked in the Fab Jeopardy, I guess, giveaway. And
Yeah,
every one of those answers gives you a promo. So be sure to join if you want to win some promos and you know a lot of Fab trivia.
yep. There'll be mats, promos, cold foils, rainbow foils, all you can dream of. Well, probably not all of it, but there'll be some things you can dream of here. So that's from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. That'll be coinciding with the break for Road to Nationals. So if you are playing in Road to Nationals, that is at this going to be at the same time as the break. So you can come on over, check it out. With that, I guess we can kind of start
Yeah.
off here. So
And
you can see I'm drafting.
small disclaimer, I don't know what Eric has drafted here. I'm going into this
Okay.
blind, so
Yeah.
I am
And
as much in the
maybe
dark as
Rob
you
will have
guys.
opinions. Maybe Rob will have opinions on what he thinks I should be doing here.
I'll be
So
like,
we see the
Eric, that
nice
was a
spark of
terrible
genius, Matt.
pick. Why'd you do that?
Get good
Okay,
scrub. Yep.
you ready?
Okay.
Let's go.
I'm ready when you are. So I am recording this on my phone, no GoPro yet. This is obviously a different angle. This is kind of what I've been wanting to do for a little while. So let me know what you think about this compared to the other draft
I'm so focused right
videos.
now. Okay.
It doesn't stay focused for long. So pack
No, I'm
one.
so focused right now.
Oh, you're focused. It's focused too. 1080p, 60 FPS.
Lava Vein
Viewers.
Loyalty, kind of nice.
Yeah, so obviously here you'll be able to see the cards in a lot more detail than the other videos. So I go through the pack a couple times here. The reason I'm doing this on pack one is to figure out like what can wheel, what kind of what is in the pack. Like there could be different amounts of draconic, generic, ice, and the kind of power picks of the pack. So I generally try to stay open unless there's a super powerful card uh, that I don't see in this particular pack. But looking at the pack from my point of view, there's a lot of good red cards here. Ember Moss, Soaring Strike, Rise Up's pretty good. Rise from the Ashes. Not a lot of great Icelander, which is why I kind of disregarded here. There's also the Tide Flippers that might wheel. And so, because there's a lot of good like attacks here, so I end up picking the
Yeah, and we know that
Rise from the Ashes.
Rise is a very powerful pick.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you that, Phoenix Flame back from your deck. It lets you set up your grave a little earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you are going Fi, that is a top tier pick for sure.
Yeah, it just likes to like really utilize that double Phoenix Flame from Arsenal, right? You can rise and then you can fire for the second one, and so the sooner you can get one in, the sooner you can use it. So this is
Red Arctic, okay.
yeah, Red Arctic, Red Sigil is pack one, pick two. So here I'm just looking to see kind of what the person directly passing to me, the first person, and see what's cracking. And so the first thing I'm trying to look at the power picks here: Red Arctic, Red Sigil's decent. Red Arctic's very, very good. Yendrai is decent. I don't value him highly. The blue, the yellow Ice Vein and the blue Hail there. I'll probably jump by it here. The blues are really, really quite premium in Icelander, right? Because they're always quite good. But this one, the Aether Hail, the blue Aether Hail is very, very good. So I'm kind
Yeah.
of looking. Okay, so counting it up, seeing my options, I did notice that the card picked on my right was the draconic ninja card, and I know that because there's only 4 draconic ninja. You see the back 4 there, so one of those is not picked,
Gotcha.
and that's how I kind of noticed that it probably a draconic ninja opener. It could have been a draconic illusionist, but I generally assume it's a draconic ninja opener. I end up picking the red Arctic here because if there's a chance that Icelander is open, getting that red Arctic is very, very good. And
Yeah.
it's possible something else will wheel. So I see the blue Ice Vein. I also see the red Hail here,
Red
which is
Hail.
kind of reinforcing my fact that, okay, so the person next to the first person passing is also possibly not on Icelander or had something better, but generally those two are very, very good cards here.
I
Not
saw
a
the
ton coming
Majestic
from
wasn't picked, so no one's value
yeah,
picking that
so
one.
that all you got. It's a good card. Less so in draft. I think it's good in draft, but can get kind of awkward.
It's a sideboard
So
card
now,
mostly. I think if you were to play it in CC, it's mostly a sideboard.
yeah. In this particular case, I am considering picking it only to stay a little bit open. The reason to that is because you can use it in every deck, and it's still like a decent card into Phoenix Flames.
Now you're value
from
picking.
the opponent.
You want to sell that for $2?
No, well, you'd be surprised. But I didn't really want to commit yet, and so that's all you got. Seemed like the best pick, and so
Okay, Sigil's still in
rolling
that
on
pack.
to yeah, Sigil
good.
Protection red, Invoke Thamai quite good. You see the red Sweeping Blow, red
Another
Lava
Lava
Vein, blue Aether
Vein.
Dart.
Yep.
Yes. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, so Dromai looks like a decent option that I could be looking at a little bit later if I see some more like Senopais kind of rolling through. But I'm not really prepped for Dromai at the moment. I'm still kind of looking at Icelander, looking if it's free or not. And trying to stay open here is a little bit awkward. There's no like crazy strong generics. I mean, there's just the red sigil. If it was a blue sigil, I probably would have snap picked it, but I end up picking the blue Aether Dart just if I need the other blue, because blues are such premiums in Icelander, and you can kind of respond to an Aether Ashwing attacking you by popping it and then ending their turn. It's a very good card. And then I see the Cloak here coming in. So a bit of a bait, honestly, now I look back at it, because the Cloak is coming in pick 5, I believe, right? The Spellfire Cloak. And I'm just thinking it's like, okay, so Icelander looks to be decent. Now there's a chance that there's no other really strong blues for Icelander, nor is there any strong red cards. So I'm thinking that it's possible there's one other Icelander player, at least one other, but I'll pick this up. I'm still early enough in the draft, kind of counting the other pieces that might wheel. And at this point, I think I pick it up and kind of count how many picks I'm in. So I'm at around pick 6 after this one. And so I'm kind of considering, okay, I really got to start narrowing down what I want to be doing and seeing what the other half of the table is passing me. And so really, Icelander looks to be extremely dried up here, and I end up picking up the Flame Call, and the reason is because Icelander looks extremely dried up here.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of ditching the Icelander dream, because Icelander is, in my view, very, very hard to force, and very, unless you have the nuts, unless like you have a good shot of being the only Icelander, I don't like sharing the Icelander pool with one, let alone 2 other players, just because it gets stupendously weak.
Yeah.
Not enough blues, not enough damage spells. So I'm kind of giving up the Icelander. I've wasted 3 picks on it, which would have been fine if I was the only one, but in this case I kind of drop it at this point, pick up the Flame Call to see if I can go either Dromai or Fi. At this point, usually I would consider pivoting to Fi, just because you can support more Fis in the pod. And so I'm looking more at Fi at this point. I have some decently strong cards for Fi as far as the Rise from the Ashes go. End up picking the Searing Touch, and the reason I pick up the Searing Touch is because it's just a better Rupture card. Like it's a good Rupture card in comparison to the Burn Away, I believe. And so here, I believe I'm kind of looking and seeing, there's more Dromai than anything else. So I'm guessing Dromai is either open, as in no one's playing her. I pick up the Blue Brother in Arms just for like a generic blue pitch here.
Right.
But Dromai is either open, or there's only one other player. But I want to be very sure, because Dromai and Icelander are both decks that I really want to try to be the only one. Otherwise, I don't think I'll 3-0. Otherwise, I might as well just Fi at that point in hopes for a 2-1. So again, I pick up the Draconic 1 for 3. I don't pick up the Sweeping Blow yet, because again, I'm not sure. And you see another one passed here. So this is all wheeled. This is all wheeled stuff. So now I'm like, I'm pretty sure nobody's in
In
nobody's in
Dromai.
Dromai, but I don't really want to be in Dromai if I can help it, even with strong Dromai picks. I see
Another
the
sweeping.
third sweeping blow
That's
pass, and
yeah.
I'm just like, all right, that's a little bit much. I'm gonna pick up the 1 for 5 critical strike in hopes that I
Like,
could still go on to 5.
if you needed a signal, that's pretty much as hard of a
Oh
signal
no,
you're
you'll
gonna
see.
get.
Just wait, You'll see. I see the red lava vein pass though, so I think
Yeah.
that I'm in a decent enough seat that I'll be able to get a pretty decent Fi deck going.
Yeah.
See the yellow
Just
senpai
everyone to the right
VLC
of you
thing.
is Icelander, pretty much.
And then I see the blue rake, and I'm just like, okay, Icelander is definitely at least 2 people. I'm glad I didn't cut it. You can see what I got in the pool here. I wasted Aether Dart, Spellfire, and Arctic. Not too bad for figuring out like
At
if
least you
you
hate
could. But
picked the Arctic, maybe. You probably kept
yeah,
that to
Arctic
yourself to
would
prevent
be.
someone else from getting it.
And you'll see that a lot of my cards are either generic or draconic. I do have the draconic ninja cards, of course. A couple of the last picks, the rake and the Senpai. So I got about 4 to 5 of them that are draconic ninja, a bunch of draconic cards, and then I have that. So I'm in Fi at this point, right? That's just generally what I'm going to look for. So I'm going to see it on the other side of the pod if I can grab some good openers, 0 for 3s, a couple 1 for 4s, and try to really get that get that booty shaken, you know. So pack 2, pick 1. So I'm looking for 5 cards. I'm opening it. Blue Scar, not great. Blaze
Okay.
Headlong looks pretty good. I'm probably gonna pick it up. And then I see,
Oh, is that the reverse rewind?
Then I see the reverse for wide, and I'm just like, I'm sitting there thinking,
Value
I'm
pick.
like, oh my god, I'm recording this literally to tell people like try not to value pick. I slam it down, and it goes, this sucks.
Okay.
Like it's just like,
just
at this
showing
point,
the
the
world.
price of that card, yeah, because I'm just like, at this point, it's one guy's like, I've never seen it before.
I don't even have one after
And,
6 cases. So seeing that, I would have been like, all right, come here.
I think I'd pick it up. Like this, to be fair, this is a more casual draft. It's not we're
Right.
kind of like chatting and stuff like that.
You're all friends there at the table. You all know each other pretty well.
Yeah. These are most of these are going to be my locals that I've seen for a bit. So I'm putting down the rewind. I don't want to get it like scuffed in my stack. And then I see Kyloria, and I'm just like, oh, do I just pivot to Dromai here?
Kyloria is a high value pick for sure.
Yeah, and I'm kind of thinking, I'm like, in reality, I should have picked up the Kyloria because that's from the other side of the pod. I don't think anyone is Dromai on that side of the pod either.
Brand.
And I end up picking the 0 for 3 brand because I'm still kind of like,
you're still looking for openers,
card,
right?
Yeah, I'm still looking for openers. I'm pretty committed to Fi. Like I think even with 3-4 people, a pod of like 6, 7, or 8, Fi is still probably going to be your easiest pick here, depending on the quality of cards.
Was the size of this pod 7 or 8?
6.
Sorry, it was 6. Okay,
it was a 6-person pod. Yeah,
gotcha.
6-person pod, so dynamics change a little bit. You'll see more of your wheels. I do pick up the Rise. I see an Uvia. I see a Silken. And at this point, I'm kind of like, okay, well, maybe like if someone's going into Dromai at this point, I don't know how what their strength of their deck is going to be in the first place. So it seems like people will just pick up the Dromai cards here and there, but I don't know how willing to pivot those people are. And so at this point, I see a second Silken form.
Yeah.
Which confirms that nobody's on Dromai. This is definitely as open as you possibly can be. I see the Burn Away. I don't actually end up picking the Burn Away, but I put it down. Consider the Searing Touch is just better. And you can see I'm kind of like also picking draconic cards to help out. I'm not going to pick the yellow Lava Vein loyalty because you know what? I might just end up going in Dromai at this point to see what wheels. Flipping it over, we get ourselves we get a Flippers, we get a Necria.
Necria as well, yeah.
Yeah, a brand. I pick up the Flippers.
Yeah, blue brand would have been okay if you were to go Fi.
Blue brand is fine. Yeah, I do have some blue cards. Blue openers aren't really exactly what I'm looking for, and Necria is pretty good. Not as good as
Kyloria.
Yeah, still pretty good. End up kind of questioning life decisions there.
I apologize. There you go.
And then Rob's just also questioning life decisions there.
Yep, smacking down the space bar on my keyboard.
Yeah, and this is really just like that point I want to like tell people is like, you really like if you see such an opening like the pivot, you really should just take it. In this particular case,
that card's so cool.
I
like how you flip it upside down to see the picture properly,
just to show everybody. Yeah. At this point, I'm just kind of looking at this draft as like, well, like a Fi deck is just so consistent, even if you're like the third Fi in the pod. Whereas
so
like
you're gonna be giving that red Ice Bind to someone who really wants it, probably.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. I do pick up another like Draconic Flame Call Awakener. A Flame Call Awakening. I'm very, very high on this card. It's a very, very good card to be able to tutor out your flames.
Mm-hmm.
And the second reason I'm actually doing this is that if I do end up going in Dromai,
Ooh,
I
red
can
billowy.
easily run three. I can easily run 3 Phoenix Flames. So I pick up the Syndicate
Mm-hmm.
again. I'm still going on 5 at this point. Almost halfway down pack 2, or maybe a little bit past halfway. And so the idea is that if I pick up all these Draconic cards, it's like if worst comes to worst and the wheel comes, and I'm just like I just have to pick these very powerful Dromai picks, that at least I can do so and have 30 cards. And in
Yeah.
this case, the Flame Calls allow you to run 3 Phoenix Flames very, very easy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because you'll be able to tutor them, get them engrave. Well, tutor them, get the cards, and then do whatever with them. So here are the Kyloria wheels, and I'm just like,
Yep.
all right,
If
it's
no one's picked it, that's a very clear sign that you are likely the
yeah,
only Dromai here.
I pretty much slammed it down. I'm like, I hate that you guys made me do this shit on stream. So I'm gonna grab the Kyloria, and then I'm gonna look at the Invoke. I'm gonna look at the Silkins.
I
I'm
like
just like, all right,
Uvia is
everyone's just
really
picking
good
this.
too.
Like, pick up the Uvia.
They're probably the two top
Um,
dragons besides the Majestics, right? Uvia
yeah,
and
they're very, very good.
Kyloria.
Yeah. So I pick up the Uvia. I pick up the Silkin because I
Silken
knew there
came
were
back.
double Silkin. I knew there were double Silkin. If
Just
someone
watch
didn't
the
pick up the
next
first
pack,
one,
have the other
one's
one.
probably there.
Yeah.
Yep. And then here it's like, oh, I'll take that blue. No, I don't pick the lava vein. I
Wasn't
pick up
skittering.
the skittering. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think I pick up the skittering here. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, well now I guess I'm in Dromai, so I just need pick up the lava vein.
Okay, lava vein. You're going back
I
to
might,
Phi.
I might have misread that card. I might have just like picked it by accident. So here we have like more sweeping blows. So in this particular case, we started on Icelander, we swapped into Phi. We really
Wow.
didn't want to get off Phi, but now we are getting rewarded because there's just Dromai cards here.
It
And
always hurts when
my
you
reasoning,
switch, right? Because you're taking the risk, you're automatically cutting up part of your pool that
mhm,
is not going to mean anything anymore, and you're risking not
it's
getting the 30
true.
cards too. So it's
Yeah,
good to see it pay
that
off
was
here.
my main. Yeah, that was my main issue. I do end up getting to 30 cards going into pack 3 here, but my main issue is like, okay, even if I run the triple Phoenix Flame,
Mm-hmm.
Icelander doesn't have the ability to run the Phoenix Flames to add to their deck to be able to like, go into that. But
Yeah,
like, it's a matter of
yeah.
this is not pack 3. This is my own deck, so I'm just like looking
Okay.
through it and then the pack. So you're seeing that I picked up quite a few Draconic cards, and these Draconic cards have allowed me to like stay flexible enough.
Mm-hmm.
The Dunebreaker and the blue rake from the other pack, and you see I have like a fair amount of 5 cards back there, but maybe about nine kind of misses as far as like cards that I picked for 5 that aren't usable in Dromai. And so at this point, I'm just looking for mainly the Dunebreaker Centipeds are the big priority that I'm looking for because they're extremely good. The Ember Maws are very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yellows, reds, blues, I'll take any of them at this point. And so those are kind of my priorities. Oh, and then the drafter right in front of me also pulls a
The
reverse
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 rewind.
rewind. Yeah.
That's so cool.
So they pull the reverse
Does that
rewind.
mean
What
one
a
box
boss.
had two of them?
No, these were separate packs.
Okay, okay.
These were bought from separate packs. So coming in pack 3, pick 1,
Cinepi.
Dunebreaker Cinepi is 100% you're going to be your pick here. It is one of the best cards in Dromai, in draft, in
Mm-hmm.
CC. It's very, very good. Just looking through the rest of the pack, a pretty
Yeah.
good
Oop.
Icelander pool
My
in this pack.
apologies.
I know I'm going to get all those Dromai cards back, like the blue sweeping and stuff, so I don't really need to worry about any of those not wheeling, right? So
Mm-hmm.
here I'm mainly looking at getting that, like those powerful picks that people might be trying to cut. I don't think people are going to be cutting early in pack 3 and they're trying to finish their own deck. I see the Flame Call, Transmortify.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking
Ooh.
at pack
Rake
3,
the
and I see the
Embers.
Rake.
That's a
Yeah, I see
red
the red
rake.
Rake. I see the red Rake. I see the Flame Call.
One of the better cards that allows you to create more ash wings, because in
Yeah.
limited it's actually a little bit difficult. Not many
Mhm.
cards let you do that, but creating 3 ash
Yeah.
wings is really valuable. Did you
Yeah.
pass it
So I
up?
pick
I
up the
didn't see
Flame
what you
Call.
picked. Flame
I
Call?
picked the Flame
Okay.
Call. It was my 3rd Flame Call. And the reason I did this is so I'll have all my tutors, right? So I have 3 Flame Calls, 3 Phoenix
Okay.
Flames. I know I'm going to run 3. So I want the tutors as fast as possible to get the Phoenix Flame out of my deck. And I know, like, Rick will probably wheel. Like, on the first pass through, I saw there were plenty of
That's
cards
fair.
for other people in that pod. If someone's picking Rake and just, like, torpedoing their own draft by, like, not having a playable,
Mm-hmm. Because you're
That's
taking a
fine.
card that you can use, but they also want. So at least you get that
Exactly.
priority now to take it out of the pool, and then you
Mhm.
are very likely to see that rake again. Because we've
Yep.
seen Kyloria pass by twice now. So
Yep.
we know
And my
people aren't
main,
really picking Dromai.
yeah, and rake isn't as necessary if I have a bunch of res because I also have Uvia, right? I have Uvia, I have Silken, I do have sweeping and billowing,
Right.
so like I have both, so I am able to get Ash Wings if I need to. Rake is not as high a priority in my particular strategy that I'm going for. In this pack, there's not a lot
Hmm.
for me. There's the blue Embermaw and the blue Dunebreaker.
Yeah.
Blue Embermaw is one of the best blue cards that you can wish for. It blocks for 3, comes in for 6 if you need it to. I don't
Right.
know what else you can really ask for a blue
Yeah.
for Dromai here. So you can like finish your turn off of it. It still comes in for 6. It still presents like a significant force, like almost a third of your life on a regular hero, and
Yep.
then a third of your life if you're an Icelander, right?
That's
So
right. Yeah.
I pick up the blue Embermaw. I'd be happy with as many blue Embermaws as I can get, and which I just saw it. I see another Flame Call, and I'm just like, ooh, could have picked that up. I see a red Billowing Mirage,
Billowing.
so
Yeah.
that's what I grab. The blue Embermaw will wheel. I'm not really worried about blue
Hmm.
Embermaw not wheeling. The Billowing, I just want to solidify my Sweeping Blow Billowing package to make sure I have a couple of each that I'm able to like pitch, Sweeping Blow, Billowing to turn that because it transforms one target. So you need to have that Ash before you play the Billowing. You can't
Ah.
just pitch red to get the Billowing.
Yeah.
It does target. It's not up to like Rake.
Hmm.
And so you need to be able to get that Ash beforehand. So I'm picking up that kind of package to make sure I have it, because if someone did decide to cut me, I would hurt a lot more from that package not being able to create Ash and get actual damage through. Um, and that's like more. So I see the yellow Ember Moths, usually what I'll
Yeah.
pick. But the
Cinepi.
red Dunebreaker comes in.
Yeah.
I see the Stilettos too. I'm looking at it and I'm just like, Icelander, nah,
Hmm.
it's gonna wheel for sure. I'm not
Dunebreaker
worriing
being
about the
one of the more
Stilettos here.
powerful attack actions you have in the deck, the 1 for 5,
If it
right?
was honestly, if it was a yellow or a blue Dunebreaker, I might have picked the Stilettos, maybe in
Okay.
worries that like an Icelander would cut me from it,
Hmm.
because Arcane Barrier 1 is very good to have into Icelander, because you can pitch reds for Arcane Barrier here. And now here I'm just picking up more Centipies as I talk about this. And that
Yep.
Stilettos, you're just able to pitch red towards Arcane Barrier
Hmm.
on probably one on the first attack and then one on the Waning Moon and generate that Ash,
2 more ashes. Yeah.
which is so good. And so I would have I don't know. I think I would have picked up the yellow Embermaw instead
Hmm.
of the Stilettos, but I honestly wouldn't fault anyone for picking up the Stilettos in that scenario. I was pretty confident it would wheel, so I don't. Usually, people don't pick up other people's equipment unless they really want to hate draft, but then they
Yep.
risk their own deck, because now I know people are sharing. Like, there's probably not enough
Right.
Dromai. There's probably at least 2 Icelanders, probably at least three Fies.
Hmm.
Right? People are sharing. They need to pick up their own stuff so they have enough playables, and they have a good enough deck. And so at this point, if I'm in the open lane, I'm probably just leaving Stilettos till later. In this pack, I see the red skittering. I'm just like, hello, daddy, 0 for 4. Come to, sorry, hello, baby, come to papa.
Well,
I see
Rake's
that
back.
magical red rake,
Just
just putting it in
come into the
front,
fold.
coming to the fold. I see
Welcome,
that blue
welcome
transmog.
home.
I wouldn't mind that blue transmog on the wheel though. Which would like it's possible it will wheel as the last card, but there are other playables in like the other packs that people might just like need to finish their deck with. So
Yep.
it's still possible it wheels there, but very happy with the red rake. I see the blue Dunebreaker that definitely pops
Okay.
out. Very, very easy blue block 3. Just kind of rounding up my deck here. I
Yep.
am trying to get to 8 blues. That is kind of my sweet spot that I am going for. The more Ember Maws you have in the deck, like reds and yellows, it is conceivable that you might want 9, possibly 10 blues. I'm
Hmm.
not convinced 10 is the right number. I think 8 to 9 is where you want to be. See the
Right.
Flame Call too, but here I'm seeing another blue Ember Maw. I'm picking it up. I have enough Flame Call Awakenings at this point. You don't need more than 3. I see the yellow Ember Maw. I see the Stilettos come back. Life
Everything you
is going
wanted.
pretty well. Yeah, I am the open. Like, I am the one Dromai. Reds, you got the yellow transmog, the red sand. Oh my, this is how you know you've made the right
So can
choice
I
in
just
life.
take all
So
3 of these cards, please?
yeah, so well, the yellow sweeping is not great, but I pick up
Yeah.
the yellow transmog. I don't think I need the sand cover because I have Stilettos
Hmm.
anyways. And then I
And you
have
got
the blue
the one card you wanted.
Mm,
Wow. So the video cuts here.
uh,
So that was the end of the draft.
so these are the 30 cards I end up with. I end up on 30 exactly. So I think that's like it gives a little bit of a lesson about like how late can you really pivot into the open lane, and how like stubborn are people going to be and grabbing those picks. I think this would have changed an 8-man pod. I think you cannot pivot that late because you're not going to get as many of your wheels, right? So the stuff that you get in your pack is going to go through 2 more people, right? And you're going to see 2 more people's packs. So that's the dynamics of in that kind of scenario, right? So in this particular way, I ended up playing exactly 30 cards. You can see I have 8 blues on the right. Picked up 3 blue Ember Maws, a Rake, Dunebreaker, very, very good quality blues, Transmogrify. My yellow is another trans, which is extremely good because I'm running triple Phoenix Flame. So I can actually like use the Flame Call, get the Phoenix Flame pitch on like a blue pitch. I can play like a red whatever, like maybe a Sweeping Blow, play Flame Call, get the Phoenix Flame, play Transmorg, and then play Phoenix Flame for like 7.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Like this deck is very, very tempo oriented, with the flame calls, with the 0 for 4s, the sweeping. I'm not really going for like hella rake build, like a shit ton of dragon build. Like Kylori is a very good dragon, Uvi is a very good dragon, but like I'm not really going for like dragon heavy, like
Yep.
a whole shit ton of dragons here. It's more of a tempo beatdown. So I want to go second. I want to get 2 Ash turn 1. I want to Silken. I want to like have some starting resources and kind of come to town. And this is kind of like a good basis for that. So I end up with a 2 dragon. I get some okay rupture, so I get the searing touch there. I get the triple flame call that I mentioned that allowed me to stay open, but also like pivot to the Dromai. So if you are looking at that, that's kind of why I stress the importance of draconic cards, picking it up early for the good ones, the good draconic cards. Flame call being very, very good one for both. Lava burst is also pretty good, of course, and it really does let you do things like this. Because if I didn't pick up enough generics and like even the critical strike was actually pretty good, it actually forced lethal on one of my turns, which is really funny in the finals. I end up going 3-0 with this deck. There were, I believe, three fives, 2 Icelanders. So I was pretty on point with what I thought it would be. But I believe one of the Icelanders was using baubles. Like there wasn't enough enough Icelander in the pool.
So even with 2 Icelanders, like even if you're sharing with one other person, right? It kind of sucks that you couldn't have 2 30-card decks unless they shifted or pivoted really late. But you know, even so, you know, Icelander is one of those heroes, like you said, that you'd be only comfortable if you were the only one getting everything. If you're sharing, kind of good luck with that, right?
Yeah, I would want the Icelander to be I pass to them pack 1, pack 3. So I get like the cream here and like, oh, I'll take. They might have got something crazy in pack 2 and they were kind of forced themselves into it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but that's a bit of a different story. I did pick up like a couple of red skittering. I picked up billowing, so like 2 billowing, a sweeping, some skittering. Like I could have picked up more sweeping. It's true if I pivoted earlier, and that's kind of the one thing that if I pivoted a couple picks earlier, I pick up an extra 2 sweeping blows or something like that. Maybe an extra Dunebreaker, which would have made the deck absolutely nutty. You're almost at a blitz deck level at that point. So it's kind of like a bit of a lesson in where you feel comfortable pivoting, like how good are you reading kind of the signals and how strong they are. In this particular case, the pool for Dromai was quite good, quite decent. Like there were strong Dromai picks, and the Kyloria kind of brought all of that out. And in general, it was just a matter of Dromai and Icelander, and this kind of reinforced the fact, I think Dromai and Icelander, in a pod of 8, there can only be about 2 of each, and they'll generally be 1 strong one and 1 average to weak one. A general pod of 8 will not support 3 Dromai decks in general, but like 2 of them will probably be awful, and 1 of them might be average. Or slightly above average. And then the same thing with Icelander. I've been in pods of 8 where Icelander and Dromai, there's 3+ of each, is horrible for all of those players.
Yeah.
And then Fi will just win because Fi actually supports it. That's kind of why you see my reluctance to switch into Dromai, even how open it is. Of course, it's a learning experience. Like every draft, you're supposed to kind of take what you take and then, like see what the signals are. And in this case, like I definitely should have pivoted earlier in hindsight. At the time, like switching to Dromai when I did was the absolute last point I could have because I just reached 30 cards. And it ended up working, but it could have easily not, right?
Yep.
And so hopefully everyone appreciated that kind of rundown. If you like the frame, I was just using my phone with a little stand there. So if you appreciated that, let me know. I'll keep doing it. Or if you more appreciated like me filming other people's drafts or me setting it up in front. It's a little bit tricky me setting it up in front of someone else. I can set it up in myself, but I don't really
Yeah,
want to ask that of
the
someone.
inconvenience was on you to have to just kind of hold your cards around the
It was
camera,
difficult.
right?
It was difficult for me to like go around. I was kind of like drafting like this, and I had my
Yeah.
hands around and like searching through the thing.
I mean,
It's fine if people enjoy it,
yeah,
right?
and
But
my own point of view, having watched this now with you, I feel like that was a much better experience than the first time because we saw the cards
I
much
thought
clearer.
so,
I
right?
was able to at least see everything much clearer. I wasn't. I mean, before it was hard to see like what the pitch, what the
Yeah,
pitches were and
no,
stuff. So
that's true. That's
it made it
true because
easy for me to
you can
follow along.
angle it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and for sure, I can like highlight cards, pick out cards from packs, go through them a
Right.
couple
You're the
times.
one
It's
controlling your
easier to explain.
draft, and you're the one knowing that this is
I
gonna
know I'm
go up
making a video.
in
I know
content.
I'm
Yeah.
making a video
Yep.
out of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, so if, let us know. We really like the feedback. We plan on doing a lot more of these. So let us know what you think. And with that, appreciate everyone for watching from wherever you're watching in the world. Have a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Bye for now.